So we got another piece of third-party news from the company called BLUE-Lobster. I guess it's based on the idea of it being rare or something. From their Weibo account, they have some colored renders here of what's going to be one of their first projects known as BL-01 X Frank, which is a third-party rendition of Spike's body when he was Autobot Spike, or known as Autobot X. This was from the very first episode of Season 2 of Generation 1. I believe it was episode 17. And it was when Spike was injured in the episode by the Decepticons, and they put his consciousness inside a makeshift of spare Autobot parts, and we have Autobot Spike, also known as Autobot X. It's one of these things, if you look at it, you could kind of like piece together, okay, this came from Blue Streak, this came from, Prowl, this came from Hound, and
just the wheelie bin.
And Sunstreaker.
Sunstreaker, yeah, in the top corner.
Everybody there. So I guess the reason why it's called X Frank, because again, it was like a Frankenstein monster. When it comes to this character, the only time we've ever had anything of official product of it, and this is once again like, if we didn't have like the Transformers Collector Club or BotCon, I mean, we wouldn't have stuff like this. And that's why I kind of miss the Transformer Collector Club in a lot of ways, because, a lot of those weird toys we would never get otherwise. And so when they had Kre-O, because Kre-O kind of lends itself to mixing and matching pieces, we had a BotCon 2015 Autobot X / Autobot Spike exclusive Kre-O. And it was the only single Autobot X figure officially that we ever got, and that was it. There was never anything else of that. Now granted, kind of makes sense, it was a one episode character, was never meant to stick around for a long period of time. It was just one of those writing tropes, gotta do this like out of body experience kind of thing, and then like, okay, maybe it's just better to be in your own body than be an Autobot. There's always that kind of morale story here. So, but we've never actually had a toy of it until now. So this rendition looks pretty cool. Obviously not going to be transformable because the original character itself was, not transformable. It was just a standalone thing. So this is something will be more along the lines of a hollow vinyl, if you will, with some mild articulation, similar to that of probably the Super Cyborg series from Super 7 or something. Who knows?
To me, it's definitely like reminiscent of like Transmutate from Beast Wars kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Like her toy, too. Yeah.
Definitely like one of those toys where you don't get a lot of representation of it, but when you do, it's a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if it's official.
And again, like the avenues for Hasbro, because again, then we go to the thing, well, this is a third-party product. Would and if Hasbro, Takara do something like this? Well, you have to ask yourself, where would they have the avenue to do this? They wouldn't do this in the Masterpiece line.
No.
A lot of the mainline stuff, there's no place for it. It wouldn't be in anything of the classic / Siege or whatever, the classic-esque mainstream lines or Legends, because they do transforming products. So where would this belong? This is something that, like I said, maybe something Super 7 would do, but I don't think Super 7 would pay Hasbro to get the Transformer license to do a one-episode obscure character. They're going to do Optimus, they're going to do Megatron, which they already have. They're going to do, again, the popular 84, 85, and mild 86 characters.
The only way I can kind of see them do this, if they do this like how Marvel Legends does, like, oh, you buy this toy and you add it add a part, but then it's like, which line do they do it to? I have no idea where they would stick that in,
It's like you mentioned, like that's how Transmutate was originally distributed.
Yeah, exactly.
The 10th anniversary Beast Wars line, each piece, each figure came with a piece of Transmutate to make a Build-A-Figure.
Mm-hmm. I could see them doing this if they're doing like another like, what are we at? We're 35 or 30 years of Transformers right now?
We're past 35 now.
So I could, like, if they were doing like, aren't they? What's the boxes they're doing now for the anniversary? It's 40? Is it?
Not for a while.
Oh,
40's not for.
Okay, so if they were doing 40 and they were re-releasing,
you're making me feel old if it was 40.
If they were re-releasing G1 toys again, right? And it's like, okay, well, everyone, like, the market's flooded with these guys. Like, come on. And I could see them, like, releasing pieces of Autobot X with those newer, not not revisions, but like the encore toys, and they'll throw this in, to really kind of sweeten the deal. I can kind of see them doing that if anyone still wants G1 toys that far into the future,
Well, the thing is that so this year we kind of already know what the 35th anniversary line is going to be for this year, and what the product's going to be. We discussed it in the past. I'm curious if they would dabble with the idea of doing a Build-A-Figure gimmick again, because they did it with the Beast Wars 10th anniversary line. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the success was for it, because they never revisited the idea again. Then again, they never revisited doing a Beast Wars anniversary or anything anniversary line again. So maybe just the line as a whole didn't do well. It was also a different design team at the time. So, and then you combine the fact where Hasbro also owns the Marvel Legends line. So I don't know how they see the success with that, and it being similar to Transformers. But I do agree. I think that would be the best and almost most apropos way to release it.
Yeah.
Would be a Build-A-Figure thing. And considering that the average wave, it could just be one wave where it could be 4 deluxes, so you got the arms and the legs right there, and then the 2 Voyagers, whatever they would be the chest, and the head and back piece would be the other Voyager.
Yeah.
And that would be it. And I think you're correct. That would be the best way to do it. The question is do they feel confident that something like that could be done again? I don't know. Otherwise, again, like many times, you're just going to have to rely on a third-party product to make your G1 shelf have that one more missing character, so to speak. But this is cool. It's something that I would consider getting if now Wendell's idea here doesn't come to fruition.
Because I could see them milking it a little bit more, because the legs... The whole legs is slightly different, you know what I mean? It's Hound's leg, but then the thigh is somebody else, and then the other leg is somebody, you know what I mean? And then the forearm is somebody else, and then the upper part of the shoulder, the bicep to the shoulder is different, you know what I mean? I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You take the torso, and that's split into 2 again, and then the head you could. I could see them really, really, really milking it if they wanted to.
Oh well, because from my own personal experience with Marvel Legends, it's usually if it's a simplistic, give an example Kingpin,
right.
Which is one of the recent ones. It's spread across. Usually, what they do is they spread it across 6 figures.
Right.
Where usually the accessory in the head is one figure on itself, the chest is another, the arms and legs are split across 4 people there. So they managed to always do it 6 figures, and that's why. So I look at case assortments and how it's always 4 deluxes and 2 Voyagers.
Okay.
That's how my brain works with
all right,
it.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
But
yeah, I'm thinking more crazy, because I'm just saying I'm looking at this that BLUE-Lobster is doing, and you can clearly see here and there it's this robot and that Autobot and that Autobot and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I will say this. They tried in a lot of ways to create some kind of collectible gimmick where it's you got to get all the primes, they've tried stuff like that in the past where it's if you don't buy an entire wave of something, you're missing out.
Yeah.
And again, going all the way back to the Beast Wars 10th anniversary. So I don't know if that was success with them. It's the sad thing, because we don't have a BotCon every year now, where people could ask questions. Hey, did that do well? Did this do well? Would you be interested in doing that again? We don't have that kind of relationship, unfortunately, with Hasbro anymore.
That very direct.
We just kind of have designer table YouTube videos that are one-sided. And I kind of hope something like HasCon returns or whatever, where we could get that again and be able to pose those kind of questions, because this is something, especially now what you brought up, it would be more of a reality than some of the others. And again, we don't have the Titaniums line anymore that had non-transforming standalone figures, so where something like this would make sense, or the Robot Heroes. There's just all those little avenues don't exist anymore. All that really exists is the companies that license out Transformers, like Super 7 and stuff. And all those companies, when they license out Transformers, they're not going to do it with obscure characters. Even companies like Hard Heroes, and I'm trying to remember what the other company was, the companies that do statues. You know, like they're going to do the safe characters. You know, they're not going to like go and do like the obscure characters like DevCon, you know, or Dion or something like that. They're going to go with like the Optimus Primes, the Bumblebees, the Megatrons, the Starscreams. It's just the safe bet. You're going to be paying a license. So third party, that's where we're going to have to go in the meantime. So if you're interested in getting an Autobot X, you have Blue Lobster's BL-01 X Frank.